We come now to verse 11 of the 5th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus has healed a man who was paralytic 38 years by the pool. Having healed him, Jesus commanded him to take up his bed and walk, and of course that created a bit of a crisis for the man because it happened to be on the Sabbath, and so technically to carry his cot around on the Sabbath would be a violation. And yet what was he to do? He'd just been healed 38 years in that malady, and now this man comes along and heals him and commands him to take up his bed and walk. So the man is, of course, to be excused for violating the Sabbath rule, but the critics who are observing his behavior aren't quite so sure that they're ready to allow for that. In any event, the man gives his answer here. Ho, this is the definite article, sometimes translated as he, which is the case here. So the man, but it's translated he, apokrythe. From apokrynomai, this is the aorist, third person singular. He answered, but, the soft conjunction, but he answered autois to them. No confrontive attitude here. Some critical commentators have tried to see a bit of an attitude on the part of the man, you might say, but the way John describes it doesn't really suggest any such thing. He says the, again the same word, but now used more conventionally with a participle, the poiesos. This is from poieo. It means to make or to do. In this case, the direct object is the word me here, roughly the same as our English word me. This is the aorist participle now, nominative, singular, masculine. The having made me, hugie. We've seen this word before. Hugies is the basic word, the nominative. This here is in the accusative now. The having made me whole. So the man who made this individual whole, akanos, moi, that one, demonstrative pronoun, that man, the same man, in other words, that one, apen, said to me. So that man to me said, this is the aorist, third person singular from lego, second aorist of course. That man said to me, Aaron, now directly quoting Jesus, the word airo, once again, take up or take away. This is the aorist imperative, second person singular. Take up ton krabatonsu, the bed of you kai parapate, and walk, the second person singular, present, active imperative. So two commands, take up the bed, the aorist, and walk, the present imperative. Take up the bed is punctiliar in character. To walk is, of course, an ongoing, linear kind of command, keep walking. And so the man, of course, gives us his defense here, and it seems a rather effective defense, that the one who had healed him of his 38-year malady had then commanded him to take up his bed and walk. And what was the man to do? That was exactly what he must do under the circumstances. And so these who are now criticizing him should be willing to accept that as a legitimate excuse for the fact that he was otherwise violating the Sabbath. Of course, they're not quite so willing to do so, and the rest of the story is really dominated by the ongoing conversation and discussion that has to do with this healing of this man.